Hey friends, for funsies, let's look and see what the other classes said won their April Sadness tournament. We got together in groups. We had different expert groups, and we made products, and then we presented those products. We used those slides as notes for us to take our assessment, and those are going to be good resources for you to study from. Uh, before your exam. But here's what the classes said. So first period, their FOUL 4, they had sea level rise versus thawing permafrost versus spread disease versus ocean warming. Um, and according to first period, spread of diseases from the tropics is the biggest threat from global climate change. So did you even know that that was a thing last week? So that's what first period said. Second period's bracket was kind of similar. They had sea level rise winning, and they had spread diseases in their final four. But they said the oceanic conveyor belt was a bigger threat. But overall, the number one threat was sea level rise. Did you know that there's an oceanic conveyor belt moving energy, regulating temperature, churning up oxygen in our ocean? And did you know that if the ice caps melt, it's going to slow down that conveyor belt? And that'd be a real big problem, cause a whole lot, start a domino effect. So, but nonetheless, second period said that sea level rise was a bigger threat. Thawing permafrost is what fourth period agreed upon. Theirs was pretty close. No, they had some blowaways. Um, did you even know that there was a thing called permafrost? Frozen ground, frozen year round, and trapped inside of it is organisms and decayed matter that's still frozen and safe. But as it thaws, it releases methane. The methane is a stronger greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide, and no matter how many trees I plant, that methane is not going to come out of the atmosphere. So as the methane warms our planet, more permafrost thaws, releasing more methane. It's a positive feedback system, and I guess that's why fourth period said it was so threatening. Fifth period was all about that conveyor belt. They had ocean acidification in their championship round, but they said that the slowing conveyor belt was the biggest threat. And finally, let's look at the sixth period bracket, similar to fifth periods. They have changing weather patterns in soil beating out sea level rise. Yeah, so climate change moves moisture. So this province is going to have desertification, and this province of this country, this state, will have record flooding and erosion. So that's going to change the weather patterns. That's why the jet stream gets wobblier, and we had like snow in Texas. We keep having these like century storm events. Gee, if we keep having century storm events, I think something's going on. But again, uh, sixth period was more afraid of the spread of diseases from the tropics. The ranges are changing, so these parasites can move into places where they couldn't. It used to be too cold, but now since we're warming up the planet, these parasites can move, bringing with them those viruses and bacteria that make us sick. You would think that as we're like becoming more modern, infectious diseases should be going down. Global warming is making that happen. Plus globalization. Think about the COVID-19 virus and the SARS and the MERS. So all of this is threatening and scary. The main thing I want you to know is this, though: the final chapter isn't written yet. None of this is set in stone. We're approaching some tipping points, maybe, but nothing is set in stone. To mix my metaphors, you haven't written the final chapter hasn't been written. You are the ones with the pen in your hand writing the final chapter. If we reduce those greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide and methane, by changing our source of energy, we can. It will take some bold steps, but we can slow down climate change. We can stop and maybe even reverse these impacts that we're seeing. I hope this project was valuable for you this week. I sure am proud of your products. I hope you're proud of yours too. And that's what the classes said are the biggest threats from climate change. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Um, Either way, I'm super proud of you, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.